Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, March 10th, right now. So, today we're going to talk. We won't take up too much of your time. I know I always say that, and it's always like 15, 20 minutes into it. And I have to cut myself short just to get 20 minutes in. I know I could go on forever. So, today we're going to talk about being a leader. To be a good agent, a successful agent, you need to be a leader. And I'm going to give you some things to think about and how to become a good leader. So, number one, to be a good leader, you have to build a connection with someone. You have to build a connection with them so you could lead them, navigate them, direct them through buying or selling a house. Any agent out there that's watching this been through many sales, not just the new agents, because I know I got some great new agents, thanks for watching, that are watching this and they haven't gotten their first sale yet. And I have some people watching, and I know you're watching, that are still taking their classes. So this goes out to everybody here, but as when you have sales and you've been in real estate for at least a little bit, you're going to realize that the reason why they know you, trust you, and want you to use you is they know that you are going to lead them through the process that they're not familiar with or scared about or nervous about. But to be a great leader through the transaction, again, you have to build that connection with them emotionally, mentally, so you're on the same page, you're flowing. I know you've had clients in the past that for some reason didn't seem like they were going to connecting with you and you weren't connecting with them. Sometimes it still ends up in a sale, but it just didn't flow right. But when it flows right, it's so great when and I know a lot of agents out there actually become great friends with their clients. And I actually have agents right now that are active with them. Some getting they're taking their classes now because they had such a great relationship and experience with their agent. They're like, I want to do this too, and I want to be in real estate, and I want to help people, just like my great agent did. So that happens out there. It's happening right now, and I know I have some agents right now that are in it because they had a great experience with another one of our agents. So I'm going to give you two things to think about and how to build that connection. You've heard some of these before, but this is very important to be a leader and have them motivated to follow you. So number one is asking questions. So, and number two, you might not have heard before. I think I mentioned it before, but slightly. But here. But number one is asking questions. You've got to show them that you're listening, that you're interested in what they want. You should be, because that helps you find their house or sell their house, and what makes the transaction more smooth. So you've got to ask questions, and not just about them or their situation with buying or selling a house. Maybe you could get into some more personal questions that could affect the house. Their children, when they're moving, school, because there's some things that they might be thinking that they're not thinking about. Like example, someone puts their house up in July for sale and said, "Oh, we should get an offer right away, but the closing is not going to be until the end of August, September. If we get an offer right away and school's starting, do you want showings during school time when it's hectic? Remember, sometimes we forget as agents that our clients don't go through this every day like we do, so they don't think of all the moving parts to that. So ask questions, and the more questions you ask and look them in the eye and showing concern and showing sincerity that you actually want to know the answers to these questions. You're not just checking a list like you're a list taker, like, yes, 4 bedrooms, yes, this. Ask why. Ask questions like, oh, 4 bedrooms, oh, great. Well, 4 bedrooms, and how many children do you have? Or do you have, the reasons that you need 4 bedrooms? Is 3 okay? Is 5 too many? Whatever you feel comfortable asking and showing that you care and you're learning more about them. Of course, you don't want to force any questions on them that they're not comfortable asking, but you want to build a connection that you're caring, trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together of what they want and what could help them, so you could help guide them, help navigate the whole process of buying or selling a house. Now, number two, this is just about building a connection with someone. in an instant. And I heard this many, many years ago. I forget it sometimes, and it reminded me through some of my notes when I was coming up with this topic for today to remind myself of this, and I'm going to start using it more. And some of you that I talk to, you might see this happen more often now. So number 2, what is it? What is it? Complimenting people within the first minute, 30 seconds of when you start talking with someone or meeting them. I see this happen, and you ever see someone's face light up when you compliment them on almost anything. So when you first meet someone, or first meet a client, a listing presentation, buyer presentation, you're showing them the first house, something, the first time, a compliment, asking questions, of course, but a compliment about anything, about what they're wearing, their compliment about their home. When you're listing, you're going into a listing, this is their home. This is where they've raised their family or lived for many years. Compliment them on their home. Compliment them on being on time. Compliment them on their being attentive to your questions and wanting to know and answering those questions. Like, thank you very much. I appreciate you're doing a great job answering these questions, and I appreciate you giving me all this information. Some type of compliment that you're comfortable telling them builds a connection with people a little bit easier. That you are noticing something, you're taking notice, you're being attentive to just their presence, and if you pair those two up, complimenting people. I mean, you can't be complimenting people every 30 seconds, but at least one compliment at the beginning of meeting or starting a conversation with people, or if you forget or don't do it throughout the process, at the end, kind of like bookend it at the end, complimenting them on things. So when you ask questions and be attentive, and the sincerity of those questions shows them that you're interested and really want to learn about them and help them. The compliments show that you like them and you appreciate them, and you appreciate, or at least enjoy something about them, because you are complimenting, like what they wear, or how they're paying attention, or their house, how they keep their house. It's just a connection with you with that compliment. And the third thing, I'll just throw this in here, just is on top of my mind, is using their first name. When you use their first name throughout your conversation, does help build a connection with them. People, one of the most things people like to hear the most, if it's not the most thing that they love to hear, is their name. So using their name, asking people what's the best you like to call. You like to be called, I get that a lot. You like to be called Anthony, or do you like to be called Tony? What's my response all the time? I say, you could call me Anthony if I'm in trouble, because that's what my mom calls me when I'm in trouble. So I use that. But again, questions, compliment, use their name. We'll build a connection with them. And once you have that connection, then it's easier for them to trust you to lead them through the process. Now, you also have to, through being a leader, you have to show them what you can do. You can't just fumble through the transaction, the processes, not communicate with them, let them know what's coming up, and let them know way ahead of time, reminding them of things. Again, you could lose that trust and lose that leadership role as soon as you don't actually do your job. So these are things that help you build that connection on top of doing what you need to do in a great way. And remember, you can't force leadership on anybody. You can't force it. You can't say, do what I say. If you force it, you're not going to build a connection with them. You're definitely not going to get referrals from them. You might get through the transaction. But you want to inspire them and motivate them to follow your lead and use your suggestions on where they should be searching for a loan, where they a home inspector, how making sure that they're getting the best of the best services for all the other people that are going to be involved in the transaction, taking your suggestion on what to offer for a house or what to accept on their house, the terms of the contract, of what they should offer there, and their inspection time and their closing time and funds and documents, and asking for closing costs and all of that. So when you inspire them from the beginning that you are someone that's going to lead them, they'll follow your suggestions more frequently. Now it can be all the time, nothing's perfect, but they more frequently they'll be easier to work with. They will enjoy the process more when they know that someone's leading them and that someone they trust and like, that is interested in them, and they build a connection with them. It makes it go smoother. I see that every day with agents when they tell me stories. I see it even on Facebook. I see agents telling stories on Facebook, even our agents, other agents, of building a connection with people. And the ultimate is the referrals that you get. That's when the referrals come in too. So that's it for today. Hopefully that gives you little things to think about right before, and being prepared before you start talking with a potential new client or listing appointment, and things to think of to make sure you build that connection so you can be that leader and they inspire them to follow you. So that's it for today. Remember, there's nothing you can't learn. There's nothing you can't do in real estate. Everybody has the ability to do everything they want to accomplish in real estate. That's the beauty of our business and what we do. So that's it for today. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow, Thursday at high noon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.